Welcome to the CEO Talk Mumbai. This event is brought to you by Tata Telebusiness Services. It is the country's leading enabler of connectivity and collaboration. I'd also like to introduce the theme of today's session. It is Rising to the Challenge with Tech Advantage. I'd like to start by introducing Mr. Umesh Kunte, Director, CMC Private Limited. Thank you so much for welcoming, sir. Followed by Mr. Vinay Vishwanath, Associate Vice President, Lab Systems. Welcome, sir. Thank you so much for joining with us. Followed by Mr. Radharaman Panikar, Director, Dangerous Goods Management, India Private Limited. Welcome, sir. Very, very happy to have you with us. And Mrs. Tanuja Gomez, CEO, FSM Education Private Limited. Thank you so much for having us. And we're also expecting the presence of Nabedu Chakraborty, sir, Director, Telstar Industries Private Limited. Thank you, everyone. And I'm also pleased and honored to recognize the presence of Janice ma'am, who has always been a constant source of support for all the talk in the Mumbai region. So let's quickly jump on to the panel discussion round. How did pandemic affected you and its impact on your business revenues?
The first phase was to understand that we are going to have a long halt now. So we represent a business that does fraud investigations, deals with government institutes as well as privates. But as and when the corporate started functioning back, they started working from home. A lot of them did not realize that they had a lot of policy gaps which would enable their employees to do a lot of frauds. And work from home culture was fairly new. Data sanitization and where the data resides onto one's laptop was a question as well.
So I think when the whole COVID setting, frankly, in my mind, it was, wow, it's a damn good opportunity because customers are engaging online. See, if you look at the world, like China has huge number of students learning only online. Thankfully, I'm very excited. Like, now we have almost about 3,500 classes happening every week. So that is the change that has happened.
What was the technology adoption you initiated during the lockdown to ensure business continuity?
We were already having a bit of technology being used, but the biggest change was we have forgotten what it feels like to travel. The meetings is across the video, the thing, and that has now made us wonder, I had a huge amount of cost in terms of my travel. And this year, my travel cost was almost like zero. And we're wondering, that's a good benefit there.
We developed much more integrated, personalized video calling platform, which can do a scheduling of the doctor's appointment, schedule the selection of the products to be detailed to the doctors. We could record the doctor's feedback. We could take the doctor's responses. So we did a complete integrated a video platform for calling of each and every medical reps to all the doctors.
What were some of the biggest challenges when you were on the verge of adopting to the digital normal?
I will put that there are three challenges, to be very honest. So one was mindset. Second thing was the resources. And third is the training and the learning.
Biggest challenge which this COVID caused with digitization is that you lost all sense of your office timing.
So we were already feeling that we were forced to be inside. And the second part was we were forced to adopt new technologies. We were forced to do video calls. We were forced to, share rooms, lock it out, and have video calls such that, the other people in the family do not get disturbed.
What kind of enterprise solutions you feel can enhance your business productivity? Yeah?
So for that, I believe the modern day would require something like a social media intelligence platform, which enables us to get in the insights in terms of their sentiments on various kind of platforms, not just a Instagram or a Facebook, but what has been happening in terms of news activities and all such information. So this generally is called as open source intelligence. The law enforcement uses it for finding out the criminals. Whereas the same technology can be used by corporate sectors to understand their market sectors, their competitors, as well as their customers in a much better way.
What was that one thing that worked very well for your business, which you would like to share with the others here?
We were the first one to embrace the technology. Anybody who has embraced, who has changed, adopted, right, the technology and integrated that technology into their business, they, as Ratanji said, they have not only survived, they are growing now.
Most of the SME business never think of risks. For them, whatever money comes in, take it out, use it away. But this COVID showed us how bad a strategy that is.
It was a lot of my leadership skills which came to play and tested. But what we did, I feel at that point of time, is our commitment towards our people. We stood by our people. We found solutions for our people. We all took a cut.
So we were blessed by our managing director, Mr. Venkatesan, who kept saying that innovation for customer success. So you innovate thinking only for the customer, not thinking about what technology you're using, how you're going to solve the problem, but first understanding what is that would make customers' life easy.
Very particularly for business updates, what did you read or watch?
I read practically whichever came on my way. And I'm very honest. I would have consumed the 12 issues of Harvard Business Review, which was lying on my desk just behind, and which I could not have. I had not touched it because of the busy schedule. The first 2 months, I had enough of time, and I just finished the all 12 pending issues.
Competencies of knowledge. So I attended 4 or 5 different courses just to get, keep the mind active rather than become idle.
I'm a podcast person. I listen. I love podcasts. It's at your convenience. You can listen at any point of time.
Realize that was spent on social media. By following the right set of people, you could actually get the right knowledge. Every smart person out there is posting some or the other fantastic content on LinkedIn. There are AI blogs written on a platform called as Medium, a podcast, very interesting podcast, people sharing their opinions.
And who is your inspiration or your biggest influencer?
It's my mom.
Okay.
My mom has been, she's 78, 79. Her resilience, she's a very advanced Parkinson's patient, but I feel she just doesn't realize that she has that. I think that's what I would look up to. For me, she's always stood like the pillar of strength. And yes, I mean, for me, it's clearly whatever I am, it's because of her.
I look at Ratan Tata and said, he also started his career very late. When he went 18 years when we thought he's just going to retire and go away. I said, okay, yeah, he's inspiration to have a long inning in the business.
During the reading activities, I find a lot of inspiration from Vivekananda ji and Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. We are from Maharashtra. So that is a sense of gratitude of what he has done in the past for us as well.
I think I would also like to share my perspective. If it were yesterday, I think it would have been even more coincidental because it was the birthday of Jamsetji yesterday, right? So what a man he is. I think he is the father of modern Indian industry, right? So I think we definitely have to look at him, the amount of innovations he had made and the amount of the contribution he has made towards the development of modern economy. With that note, we are at the end of today's session. But before we close, I'd like to invite Janice for crisp closing thoughts. Over to you.
Personally, I have gained a lot of insights from each one of your industries, and I'm happy that there are several industries who are looking positive, and one of you who have done better than the last year. So I mean, that's really great news, and I thank you so much, and we'll definitely look forward to your participation in our future sessions.